According to legend, during the 7th century, as the last pagan kingdom in Britain converted to Christianity, the devil became infuriated. He sought to drown the people of Sussex for abandoning him. St. Cuthman of Stenning proposed a wager to the devil. If he could dig a trench from the coast to the Weald in one night, he could have St. Cuthman's soul. However, if he failed, the devil would leave Sussex alone. Agreeing to the wager, the devil began. He dug a trench deep and wide through the chalky downs of Sussex toward the Weald below. St. Cuthman, however, had devised a plan. He went to a nearby house and lit a candle, letting out a bright and shining light. The devil, believing the light to be the sun, ran off, saving the people of Sussex and leaving a massive valley cut into the hills.
My name's Ollie. We're at the Comedia for the big game, playing with social Wildcard, and I play drums.
I'm Ben, and I'm playing some guitar, some percussion.
So I'm Jared, I play guitar.
I'm Javier, I'm one of the bass players.
I'm Louis, aka Chef, and I'm the secondary bass player.
I'm Charlie Hooler. We are here today at the Comedia in Brighton to play the big game. We've been working up to this show for the best part of a year. We came 2 years ago, we were here at the Comedia, we played a show at the studio, the smaller room. It was a great night, and now we've come back to play the basement, the bigger room, and we've got lasers, lights, percussion, everything. It's going to be insane, it's going to be so good.
Brighton is known for sort of its music scene. It's quite a sort of uni town, so a lot of people come from quite far, even abroad here to study. It's quite rich in culture. There's a lot of, exciting nightlife here.
Did you grow up in Brighton?
I did. I grew up in Hove, which there is a difference. It's just west of Brighton.
There's a difference.
I'm born and raised in Brighton. Absolutely, yes sir. It's one of the best towns. I think it's the best town, best city in this country. But it depends what you want from living here. But for me, it's just unbeatable. I absolutely love it here.
I was born 26 years ago in Brighton.
Do you know any folklore about Devil's Dyke?
Folklore about Devil's Dyke, because I think the devil took a chunk out of the land, apparently with its tail. That's what my dad told me.
The devil was about, but he got pissy about something.
God challenged the devil to just build a big old trench from the sea through the hills.
So he dragged his tail through the land, and that created the valley.
He dug this deep gorge, and he was trying to dig it through the South Downs to let the sea in, to flood the Sussex Wealds.
And then someone convinced him not to, but he was like, I'm pissed off about this, so I'm just gonna take a chunk of this hill and chuck it into the sea.
It's to frighten kids, really, I think. Got to know the story well from parents and elders. This is what we call millionaires golf, when you come out like this and there's hardly anybody on the golf course. Devil's Dyke is a tourist spot, sort of Victorian fun fair there, and a funicular railway and a cable car railway. Well, you get stunning views, and they haven't changed for hundreds of years. So I imagine when the Romans came up from Portslade or Chichester, and they always had to cross the downs, you'd get stunning views, across the Sussex Weald towards London. Is there any truth in the folklore of the devil and Devil's Dyke? I don't believe it, but it's a nice story. So my name's Peter Groves. I'm a member of Brighton and Hove Golf Club. I love my golf up here, and I also love history, which this place is steeped in history because it's so old. So the third green and the fourth tee box are the highest point on our golf course and also the windiest point. So this is not as windy as it's going to get. So this is a bridleway, a public footpath. You can see by the brown markers. The Roman roads came through this golf course 2,000 years ago. Britain was invaded by the Romans. Roman discoveries were found in Hangleton, 2 miles from here, in what is now Amberley Close. When they were building that in 1946, they unearthed a Roman settlement, and those bridleways and public footpaths that the golfers dislike because people are still allowed to walk through their golf course. Some of them will be old Roman roads that the Romans used on their, I guess, on their way to London. Well, I don't know if you've seen the article, but my son and his friend were, I guess they were about 10 at that time. I sort of quite like the Arctic and Antarctic explorers, and somehow I brought that into the story, and it gave a bit of excitement to the two young lads that it was a sort of race to re-find or remap the route of the Dyke Railway. And then I came across some photographs on the internet of this bridge and viaduct, and although I had lived in Hangleton for 20 years of my earlier life, I never knew about this big viaduct. There's very few photographs of it around, some of it in the far distance, but just one I found, which is a few children, probably around 1910, standing underneath this viaduct. And I then actually posted that online, and nobody else had seen it anywhere. That was probably one of my nicest finds and most surprising finds on the Dyke Railway, yeah. You know, when the railway was built, Devil's Dyke was a popular tourist attraction, and at the same time that the railway was built, the golf club was founded, and so the first stop after leaving Brighton station was actually Devil's Dyke, because at that time, before the cars were invented, golfers came up by train and they had to go right up to Devil's Dyke and then walk back to the club. So it made sense to have a platform constructed here. It wasn't actually shown in any of the timetables, and tickets weren't issued for it. Actually, this bar that we're sitting in now, a bell used to ring when the train was about to leave the Dyke station, so that members had time to quickly finish their drinks and make a dash to Golf Halt, where if there was anybody standing there, the driver would stop. If they weren't, he'd just carry on, of course. It's just 200 yards north of the golf club, and it can still be seen in the undergrowth. We can go up and have a look at it later. Yeah, when I did the thing with the youngsters, at first I thought this must be the ruins of it, but it's not. I can see it. Will you be able to see it? Okay, yeah, I'm cool. Yeah.
So how does it feel to be back seeing it again?
It was 2008 the last time, yeah. I mean, it looks like it's becoming more and more overgrown, so eventually it's going to disappear altogether, you know.
Is there anything you want to talk about while we're here? Or?
I just hope there's no train coming.
Yeah.
We're right on the line.
Yeah.
This the way we came in, it is, isn't it? I think, you know, while you're here, we should go up onto the fourth tee box and have a look at the route of the railway. You can see it from up there as clear as anything. You know, if you look at the back of Hangleton, which is where I grew up, a lot of that wasn't built when I grew up there, but you can now look at it on Google Earth and you can see the route of the old Dyke Railway because of the way that the buildings have been constructed with its boundary still clearly shown. So yeah, I mean, you don't need me to tell you where the route was, do you? It's pretty obvious, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then of course the platform for the Dyke is where that red brick building is over there. Okay. Can you see the red brick building? But then it became too steep, obviously. It couldn't do the last half mile, so they still had to walk from there, the Victorians. I mean, my background, I'm a production engineer, so as I say, I lived at the rear of Hangleton on a council estate. Probably left school with not much education, and certainly back then, 1970, I left school. Very few people went to university, so I did a fully indentured production engineering apprenticeship. Really, history was off my radar. I wasn't really interested in it at school, and wasn't interested in it in my younger days. I lived in an area of Brighton, Hanover, and there was one of these local books that was pretty easy to read, and it was a history book about a guy's life who grew up in that same part of Hanover where I was living, but 100 years earlier. Reading that book, and that day onwards, I was very interested in local history and interested in history, so pretty much now all I read is history books. My wife would say it's terrible, you know, read some fiction, but history is, yeah, what I like.
Is there anything I've left out?
No, I think that's it. Should we go and look at the platform?
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Let's go and look at the platform.
Yeah, let's screw up.
And the camera obscura down there, can you see that?
Oh, really? Where is that?
Oh, you don't know about that one then.